Hey, Patriots Nation. We're back with another exclusive update on everything happening in New England. Before we jump in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button so you never miss any breaking Patriots news. The rumors started quietly, almost like a whisper in the corridors of the league. But now it is growing into something that feels impossible to ignore because the idea of Drake May leaving the Patriots is no longer just internet noise. It is becoming a storyline that people around the NFL are nervously watching. When a franchise invests so much hope into a young quarterback, especially one seen as the future face of the organization, even the smallest sign of doubt can explode into speculation. Insiders have begun to hint that internal tensions, philosophical disagreements, and long-term vision clashes might be bubbling under the surface in New England. From the outside, everything looks calm, but those who follow the Patriots closely know this franchise has a history of making cold, calculated decisions when they believe the direction must change. Drake May arrived carrying expectations that were almost unfair, being labeled as the reset button after years of uncertainty at the quarterback position. Now, rumors suggest that instead of stability, the relationship may already be strained, not because of performance alone, but because of trust, communication, and the pressure of being the centerpiece of a rebuilding empire that demands perfection. What makes this rumor even more fascinating is how divided the Patriots fan base appears to be. Some believe Drake May represents patience and long-term growth, the type of quarterback you protect at all costs while building the roster carefully around him. Others quietly wonder if the organization truly believes in him as much as they claim publicly. The whispers suggest that meetings behind closed doors have been tense, with strong personalities debating whether May fits the rigid system New England traditionally prefers. This is not about a single throw or a single game, but about identity. The Patriots are known for discipline, structure, and control, while Drake May is seen as a modern quarterback who thrives with creativity and freedom. That philosophical contrast alone is enough to spark doubts. Rumors claim that some voices inside the building fear forcing May into a conservative mold could limit his ceiling, while others argue the system must never bend for any player, no matter how talented. That kind of internal tug-of-war often ends with difficult decisions that shock the public. As the speculation grows louder, league executives from other teams are reportedly paying close attention, sensing vulnerability where there should be confidence. When a young quarterback's future becomes uncertain, it creates a ripple effect across the entire NFL. Scouts, general managers, and coaches start imagining what Drake May could become in a different environment, with a different offensive philosophy and perhaps more patience. The rumor is not necessarily that the Patriots want to move on immediately, but that they are open to listening, which alone is enough to change perception. Once a team appears open to discussion, leverage shifts, narratives change, and suddenly the player's name becomes part of hypothetical conversations that refuse to die. For May, this is dangerous territory, because even if he stays, the shadow of doubt can linger, affecting confidence and development. For New England, it raises a deeper question about whether they're truly committed to a long rebuild or quietly searching for another reset before fully committing. Another layer to this rumor involves the locker room dynamic, which is often invisible to fans but crucial to any franchise. Speculation suggests that Drake May is respected but not yet fully embraced as the unquestioned leader, a natural challenge for any young quarterback stepping into a demanding organization. Veterans reportedly want clarity, stability, and a clear direction, and uncertainty at the most important position creates unease. Some rumors even suggest that communication issues between the coaching staff and may have led to frustration on both sides. That does not mean open conflict, but rather a slow accumulation of misunderstandings, expectations not fully aligned, and trust still under construction. In a market like New England, patience is limited and silence can be louder than words. When leadership does not aggressively shut down rumors, people assume there is truth hidden beneath the surface. That silence has only fueled speculation that a future without Drake May is at least being discussed, even if not yet planned. From a narrative standpoint, The idea of Drake May leaving the Patriots feels dramatic because it symbolizes another potential turning point in a franchise that has been searching for its next true identity. Ever since the end of a dominant era, New England has struggled to find consistency at quarterback, and May was supposed to be the answer, not another question. Rumors now frame him as a crossroads decision, a player who could either become the foundation of a new era or a valuable asset used to accelerate a different plan. Some insiders speculate that the Patriots may believe their roster is further away from contention than initially expected, and that keeping May through a long rebuild could risk wasting his prime development years. In that context, moving on becomes a strategic calculation rather than an emotional failure. That perspective alone makes the rumor feel disturbingly plausible. As the first wave of speculation continues to spread, one thing is clear: this story is no longer just about Drake May. It is about what the Patriots want to be moving forward. Whether the rumor proves true or not, the conversation itself reveals uncertainty, and uncertainty is dangerous in the NFL. Fans sense it, rival teams sense it, and players feel it. When a quarterback's future becomes a topic of debate instead of confidence, the clock starts ticking. For Drake May, the possibility of leaving New England represents both risk and opportunity, a chance to either escape a rigid system or lose the stability that comes with being the chosen one. For the Patriots, it represents a decision that could define their next era, for better or worse, long after the rumors fade or become reality. The second part of this rumor dives deeper into what a potential separation could actually mean, because if Drake May were to leave the Patriots, the consequences would stretch far beyond a single transaction. Speculation suggests that New England might be quietly evaluating how much value May holds across the league, not just as a quarterback, but as a symbol of potential. In the NFL, youth, arm talent, and upside are currency, and May checks every box that front offices dream about. That is why whispers about teams monitoring the situation feel believable. The idea is not that the Patriots are desperate, but that they are pragmatic. If they believe their timeline does not match May's development curve, the cold logic of roster building might push them toward a controversial move. This kind of thinking has defined the franchise for decades, prioritizing long-term vision over emotional attachment, even when fans strongly disagree. There is also speculation that Drake May himself may not be entirely comfortable with the uncertainty surrounding his role. While publicly he remains professional and focused, rumors suggest that confidence is fragile when mixed messages come from leadership. Quarterbacks thrive on trust, on knowing the organization believes in them without hesitation. If May senses that he is being evaluated not just as a cornerstone, but also as a trade chip, it can change how he views his future. The NFL is a business, but it is also deeply personal for players whose careers are short and heavily scrutinized. Some whispers claim that May's camp could eventually seek clarity because ambiguity can stall development and confidence. That alone could accelerate conversations that otherwise might have stayed internal. When both sides start questioning alignment, momentum builds in unpredictable ways. From a league-wide perspective, a potential Drake May exit would instantly reshape quarterback discussions everywhere. Teams stuck in quarterback limbo would suddenly see hope, while others might reevaluate their own long-term plans. Speculation even hints that offensive-minded coaches around the league view May as a perfect fit for systems that emphasize movement, aggression, and adaptability, traits that may not always shine in New England's traditional structure. This fuels the idea that the Patriots could be sitting on an asset that might flourish elsewhere, a thought that can be both tempting and terrifying for decision-makers. Letting go of a young quarterback only to watch him succeed somewhere else is every general manager's nightmare. Yet holding on to a player who does not fit the system can be equally damaging. The media narrative surrounding this rumor continues to intensify because it touches on trust, patience, and identity. Three things the Patriots have been accused of struggling with in recent years. Analysts speculate that the organization may be torn between honoring its legacy and adapting to the modern NFL. Drake May represents that tension perfectly. He is talented, modern, and dynamic, Yet he exists within a franchise built on discipline and control. If the Patriots choose to move on, it would signal a belief that their system matters more than individual talent. If they commit fully to May, it would require evolution, flexibility, and perhaps a departure from long-held philosophies. The rumors suggest that this internal debate is far from settled, making the situation feel volatile. Fans watching from the outside are left reading between the lines, analyzing every press conference tone, every play call, every sideline interaction for clues. Rumors thrive in silence, and until the Patriots make a definitive statement through action, speculation will only grow. The idea of Drake may leaving New England may sound extreme now, but extreme stories often begin as unlikely whispers. In a league where certainty is rare and patience is limited, even foundational players are never completely safe. That reality is what makes this rumor feel so compelling, because it challenges the assumption that young quarterbacks are automatically untouchable. In the end, whether Drake may actually leave the Patriots or not, this rumor exposes the fragile nature of rebuilding in the NFL. It shows how quickly hope can turn into doubt, and how narratives can shift before a player truly has time to define himself. For May, the coming period represents a test of resilience, adaptability, and belief. For New England, it represents a defining choice that could shape the franchise's direction for years. Until clarity arrives, the speculation will continue to swirl, growing louder with every unanswered question, reminding everyone that in the NFL, the future is always one rumor away from rewriting the present. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. Your support helps us bring you the latest updates on the New England Patriots. And of course, drop your thoughts in the comments. We love hearing from Patriots fans. As the rumor machine keeps spinning, another angle begins to surface that adds even more fuel to the idea of Drake may eventually moving on from the Patriots, and it involves long-term organizational patience, or the lack of it. Speculation suggests that New England's front office may be under quiet pressure to show tangible progress sooner rather than later, and that pressure often changes how young quarterbacks are evaluated internally. When rebuilding timelines stretch longer than expected, even highly drafted passers can become symbols of stagnation instead of hope. Some whispers claim that decision-makers may be asking themselves whether May is the solution they build around or the asset they use to accelerate a different vision. That question alone can alter how reps are distributed, how playbooks are tailored, and how public messaging is framed. In a league where confidence is everything, subtle shifts in tone can speak volumes. The rumor paints a picture of a franchise caught between staying the course and making a bold, controversial move that resets expectations overnight. If the Patriots believe their roster holes are deeper than anticipated, moving May could be framed internally as proactive rather than reactive, even if fans see it as surrender. Another layer of speculation focuses on how the modern NFL landscape may be influencing New England's thinking behind the scenes. Quarterback movement has become more common, and the stigma around moving on quickly from young passers is not as strong as it once was. Rumors suggest that the Patriots are studying recent league trends, where teams have aggressively pivoted at the quarterback position without waiting years for development. In that environment, Drake May's name becomes part of a broader philosophical debate about whether patience is still a virtue or a liability. Some insiders speculate that the organization fears falling behind offensively if it commits too long to a developmental arc that may not align with current roster strengths. That fear can quietly reshape priorities, turning what was once viewed as a cornerstone into a calculated option. The idea that May could thrive elsewhere only complicates matters, because it forces New England to weigh the risk of regret against the risk of stagnation. This tension is exactly where rumors are born. Ultimately, the continued speculation around Drake May leaving the Patriots reflects how fragile certainty is in professional football, especially for teams searching for a new identity. Every rumor, no matter how exaggerated, reveals an underlying anxiety about direction, leadership, and belief. For May, The noise represents an external distraction that could either harden his resolve or slowly erode trust if left unresolved. For the Patriots, it represents a crossroads where silence and ambiguity may be doing more harm than clarity. Fans, analysts, and rival executives will continue to read between the lines, interpreting every move as evidence supporting or denying the rumor, until the organization either fully commits to May or makes a decisive pivot. The story will refuse to die. And in the NFL, stories that refuse to die often have a way of becoming reality, or at the very least, shaping decisions long before any official move is made. That's it for today's update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving fresh and exclusive Patriots news, make sure to subscribe and hit like. We always appreciate hearing your opinions in the comments. See you in the next one, Patriots Nation.